Welcome back. All right, news of the day video for all you fine people on the internet for your Tuesday, March the 25th. Also previewing March 25th's games. We got 10 games tonight, so busy because it's Tuesday. Starting at the top of the board, Jacob Chychrun signs an 8-year extension with the Washington Capitals. The cap hit, $9 million per season. It may seem high to people who haven't been watching him this season. It's not high for people who've watched him this season. He's been excellent in Washington. It's been a really good fit. It was a much better fit with the Caps than it was with the Senators. Chychrun's been fantastic, and he gets an 8-year extension from the Capitals and doesn't have to worry about, July 1st or what he's going to do next season. Everything's all set up. To celebrate this, too, somebody taped money to the back of his practice jersey today at warmups. So, because he's definitely got some money now. And, all the best. He's earned it. Vegas, going into their game tonight against Minnesota, Shea Theodore could return to the lineup. He's considered a game-time decision. Apparently, it'll be his decision. We'll see. Whereas Hertl, he's not on the road trip. He's not playing on the road trip. They don't know the severity of his injury at this point. There are tests being done to see what the severity of that injury is for Hertl. If you're the Vegas Golden Knights, you do not want to be without Hertl for very long. Hertl's been on a heater, so that does definitely hurt. We'll see how that affects their chances tonight. If Theodore, let's say Theodore didn't play, but usually when it's game time decision with a player like that, they usually do. But without Hertl, we'll see how that affects their attack against the Minnesota Wild tonight. The Vancouver Canucks will be without Höglander and Pettersson, and that's EP40 Pettersson. It's always tough when you're reporting on Pettersson because people go, which one? So they're going to miss the rest of the road trip. They were sent home to Vancouver, and they didn't play last night, obviously. This is news that came out yesterday after my news of the day video had gone out. So the Canucks, they get a gutsy win against New Jersey. We'll see the rest of the way how they do. Still, their odds of making the playoffs, not great. St. Louis needs to cool down substantially for Vancouver, in my opinion, to have a realistic chance of catching and passing them. And then also there's other teams around that same level, Utah and Calgary coming to mind. So, yeah, Vancouver's in tough, but definitely a character victory for them last night. Crosby is 3 points away from his 20th season with a point per game or better, and that would pass Gretzky's record of 19. So while we're all focusing on the goal record being set by Ovechkin, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Crosby, with this 20 seasons of better than point per game numbers, that to me is just as impressive. That means there hasn't been a season where he's had a downturn in his production that led to him, getting 75 points in 80 games. Respectable, but it's never happened. So Crosby doing this and being one of the most productive forwards since the Four Nations break, absolutely remarkable. Pittsburgh's been on a bit of a heater themselves. They're not going to make the playoffs, but they're doing well. I know there are some in their fandom that are not happy with the fact they're doing well because they could hose themselves out of a really good draft lottery position. But if you're the Pittsburgh Penguins, you're not worried about a draft lottery position. You're going out there and still trying to win some games. Until you're mathematically eliminated, you're not technically eliminated. The draft lottery, according to Chris Johnston, will either be May 5th or 6th. It depends on the playoff schedule. That feels late. Isn't the draft lottery in April usually? So May 5th or 6th feels late to me. Let me know your thoughts on that one. But yeah, so we won't know where everybody's drafting until then. But it is going to be interesting to see who ends up getting that number one draft choice and then what they do with it. Outside of the number one pick, which seems to be kind of consensus, from there on, it's kind of a guessing game as to who goes at 2 through the rest of that top 10. But the top 5 should be very good players, and then there's going to be diamonds in the rough the rest of the way. The Winnipeg Jets, pretty simple tonight for them. 1 point in this game against Washington, and they clinch a playoff spot. And if the Blues fail to win their game, if they don't get a point in their game at all, then that clinches a playoff spot for Winnipeg as well. A lot said about the Jets' current struggles, but they'll be fine. I honestly, I don't think it's a huge issue that they're having right now. They didn't have a great week. But since things have been going really, really well for Winnipeg, I'm sure there are Jets fans that are saying, oh, here we go, other shoes about to drop. I don't think so. I think this team's going to be just fine, even without Velarde, and it'll be an interesting matchup tonight because Winnipeg did go into Washington to beat Washington, so Washington's going to try to return the favor. It's been revealed as well, Jason Dickinson is going to miss the rest of the season for the Chicago Blackhawks. So he didn't have the same season this year as last year. Last year he was fantastic for them. This year he's been a lot less prominent for Chicago. And makes sense, Chicago going with a lot of their younger talent and prospects and bringing them in. So that does drop the amount this hurts them the rest of the way. And of course, Chicago already mathematically eliminated, so you just want Dickinson to be healthy for this coming training camp. All right, moving on to the preview portion of this program. And we've got 10 games tonight, as I previously stated. 4 of them starting at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. We've got 3 starting an hour after that, 2 an hour after that, and then we have 1 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific start. I want this to be a good game because it's going to have my undivided attention for a while. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start. The Ottawa Senators in Buffalo against the Sabres. Ottawa, 37-27-5 overall. They're 7-2-1 in their last 10 games. They are 6 points behind Tampa Bay for third in the division. They're 4 points ahead of Montreal in that number 1 wildcard spot. Buffalo's 28-35-6 overall. They are 4-6 in their last 10 games. They're 13 points out of a playoff spot. But they do generate victories here and there. They did have a win against the Jets. We'll see if they can summon whatever forces they need to defeat the Ottawa Senators tonight at home. And at home meaning Sabres at home. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start. Philadelphia in Toronto. So Scott Laughton against his former team. The Philadelphia Flyers, 28-35-9. 10 points out of a playoff spot. 1-8-1 in their last 10. They're just steamrolling in the wrong direction. Toronto 42-25-3 overall. They're 2 points behind Florida for top spot in the Atlantic. They are 2 points ahead of Tampa in second place. 4-5-1 record in their last 10. Not very Toronto-like. So I would expect a big game from Toronto tonight against a Philadelphia team that has definitely been sliding. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. The Pittsburgh Penguins, who've been red hot, looking to keep that going. They're 29-32-11 overall. They are 6 points back of a playoff spot. They're 5-3-2 in their last 10, but they're in Tampa. Tampa, 40-25-5 overall. Again, 2 points behind Toronto for that second spot in the Atlantic. 6 points ahead of Ottawa. 5-4-1 record over the last 10 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. So Tampa's been up and down, but I do expect a big game from them tonight at home against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And, of course, trying to chase down Toronto for that second place spot and keeping Florida in their sights as well. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start. Nashville in Carolina against the Canes. Nashville 26-36-8. They're 21 points out of a playoff spot. Not mathematically eliminated as of yet, but close. 5-4-1 in their last 10 games. Whereas Carolina 43-23-4. They're 9 points ahead of the New Jersey Devils in second place. They're not going to catch first. They're not going to get caught by New Jersey. They're second place. They're 9-1 in their last 10 are the Carolina Hurricanes. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific start between Montreal and St. Louis. 2 teams that have lost 1 in regulation over their last 10. This should be a great one. Montreal 33-27-9 overall. 4 points behind Ottawa for that first wildcard spot. And 1 point ahead of both the Islanders and the Rangers for that above the playoff line wildcard 2 spot. Again, Montreal 5-1-4 in their last 10, looking to make it 6-1-4 in their last 11. But St. Louis is a tough one. 37-28-7 record, 8-1-1 over their last 10. 4 points behind Minnesota for that number 1 wildcard spot, and 3 points ahead of Vancouver. So they can really settle in if they win this game at home against Montreal. They'd be 5 points clear of Vancouver. And I don't see any way that St. Louis doesn't get this. It's all in St. Louis's control. If they lose the playoff spot, I'd be very surprised at this point in time. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific start between Vegas and Minnesota, the previously mentioned game. Vegas 42-20-8 overall. They're 6-2-2 in their last 10. They're 5 points ahead of both Edmonton and Los Angeles. Minnesota 40-26-5 overall. They're 4 points behind Colorado, 4 points ahead of St. Louis. So sandwiched right in the middle. They're 5-4-1 in their last 10. Should be a fun one. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific start. Yes, Washington in Winnipeg against the Jets, the big one. Washington 47-15-8. They're 12 points ahead of Carolina atop the division. And they're 9-1 in their last 10. The Jets, 48-19-4 overall. They're 6 points ahead of Dallas. I don't think Dallas is a threat to chase them down. And Winnipeg, 6-4 over their last 10. Or what I've been seeing from some Jets fans is that now they suck. And it's like, what? I honestly, I know they haven't been playing great, but they're 6-4 in their last 10. A lot of teams would take that. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific start between Detroit and Colorado. Detroit's definitely a team that wishes they were 6-4 in their last 10. They're 33-31-6 overall. They're 3 points back of a playoff spot in the East. They are 3-7 over their last 10 games. Colorado, 43-25-3 overall. They're 8-1-1 in their last 10. They're 5 points behind Dallas for second place and 4 points ahead of Minnesota. So they're not really... I mean, they're comfortably ahead of Minnesota when you consider Minnesota's record being 5-4-1 and Colorado being 8-1-1, but Colorado needs to keep that up. So we'll see how things go against a Detroit team that played last night in Utah. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific start as well between Seattle and Calgary. So there'll be 9 games on at the same time. I'll do my best to keep up on what's going on with everything. Seattle, 30-36-5 overall. They're 16 points back of a playoff spot. They're 4-5-1 in their last 10. Calgary, 33-25-11. They're 4 points back of a playoff spot. They're 5-2-3 in their last 10. I don't think Calgary's going to make it, but they haven't given up. And hey, why should they? As I mentioned before, if you're not mathematically eliminated, why give up? 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. The Rangers in LA against the Kings. A Stanley Cup rematch from, I think it was 2014, right? So the New York Rangers, 34-31-6 overall. They're 1 point back of a playoff spot. They're 3-5-2 in their last 10. Rangers just have to be better. The Kings, 39-21-9 overall. They're 8-1-1 in their last 10. They have the best home record in the National Hockey League. They're 5 points back of Vegas, and they are tied with Edmonton. So a win tonight would pull them ahead of Edmonton. And this is their game in hand, I believe, on Edmonton as well. So it's important to win those games in hand or else they don't matter. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below regarding the news items, or let me know your picks, or both. Crazy idea, both. Let me know your picks for tonight. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It's greatly appreciated. I will talk to you again soon.